The renovation was supposed to take 4 months. Instead, it took almost a year. Not because of bad craftsmanship, not because of material shortages, not because of weather. It came down to one issue that most homeowners barely think about until it's too late: a permit problem. And by the time the owner discovered it, the damage was already done. This is one of the most expensive renovation mistakes we see in New York City. Most people think permits are just paperwork, something you submit, wait for, and forget about. But permits are what allow a project to legally move forward. Without the right approvals, even the best renovation team can be forced to stop. In this case, the owner had already invested significant money into planning. Architectural drawings were completed, contractors had been interviewed, materials were being selected, the schedule looked realistic, everything appeared ready to move forward. Then demolition began. At first, things seemed normal. Walls came down, debris was removed. The project appeared to be making progress. But behind the scenes, there was a serious problem. The approvals needed for the next phase of work were not fully in place. Eventually, the issue surfaced. And when it did, the entire project came to a halt. Workers could not continue. Schedules had to be cancelled. Inspections became part of the conversation. What should have been a straightforward renovation turned into months of waiting, and waiting is expensive. The owner was still paying their mortgage. They were still paying maintenance fees. Property-related expenses didn't stop simply because construction stopped. In some cases, homeowners also pay for temporary housing. Some pay for storage, others pay additional design or consulting fees while problems are being resolved. Every month that passes increases the true cost of the renovation. This is something many renovation budgets fail to account for. People often focus on construction costs. They compare contractor proposals, they compare finishes, they compare appliances and fixtures, but they underestimate the cost of delays. A delay can quietly become one of the most expensive parts of the entire project. What makes the situation even more frustrating is that permit issues are often preventable. Experienced renovation teams understand that construction starts long before the first wall comes down. It starts with planning. It starts with documentation. It starts with understanding building requirements. It starts with understanding Department of Buildings requirements. And in many Manhattan buildings, it also means understanding co-op and condo board requirements. Every building has its own process. Every project has unique challenges. A renovation that looks simple on paper can become complicated when approvals, logistics, and compliance requirements are involved. That's why successful projects focus heavily on preparation. The goal is to identify risks before construction begins, not after, because once demolition starts, time becomes extremely valuable. When a project stops unexpectedly, everyone feels the impact. The homeowner becomes frustrated. Contractors must reorganise schedules. Subcontractors move on to other jobs. Lead times continue to change. And restarting the project later can be far more difficult than people expect. The lesson is simple. Permits are not a formality. They are a critical part of the renovation strategy. Ignoring them can create delays measured in months instead of days. And in New York City, months of delay can translate into tens of thousands of dollars in additional costs. Before starting any renovation, make sure approvals, permits, and building requirements are fully understood. A few extra weeks of preparation can save months of frustration later. The best renovation projects are not the ones that start fastest, they're the ones that are planned correctly from the beginning. If you're considering a renovation in Manhattan, remember that construction success starts long before construction begins, and sometimes the most expensive mistake isn't what gets built. is what gets overlooked before the work even starts. Follow Corniel Construction for more Manhattan Renovation Reality and real lessons from New York City renovation projects.